We've come to the end of our time together. We've heard stories, learned things, hoped things. We've had memories brought forward and have listened to what lies ahead. Statements have been made and new parts of our story have been written in choices, questions, and words. And we've also come to a beginning. We've put our stories and thoughts together, and now it is time to live them out, to hold the questions and uncertainties, to embody the values and actions that have been brought up today, and to incarnate our stories into the world. The Trappist monk Thomas Merton once wrote, "For me to be a saint means to be myself. Therefore, the problem of sanctity and salvation is in fact the problem of finding out who I am and of discovering my true self." It's a daring and challenging quote. What he is saying is that the greatest way to serve the God who loves us is to fully and authentically be who God created us to be. That is the greatest thing we can do, and that by loving in that direction, we encourage others to do the same. And through that work, the world is changed. This wasn't just a quote for Merton, a piece of theological work that he parsed out and put into a book. It was something he lived out and struggled with, something he had to enflesh. This incredible idea was not even his to begin with. Merton explains in his book, Seven Storey Mountain, that it was actually a challenge set to him years before, way at the beginning of his journey, by his friend, the poet Robert Lax. Robert Lax asked him, "What do you want to be anyway?" "I don't know," Merton responded. "I guess I want to be a good Catholic." "What do you mean you want to be a good Catholic? What you should say is that you want to be a saint." "How do you expect me to become a saint?" Merton asked. "By wanting to," Lax replied. "I can't be a saint," Thomas Merton said. "I can't be a saint." "No," Lax said. "All that is necessary to be a saint is to want to be one. Don't you believe that God will make you what he created you to be if you'll consent to let him do it? All you have to do is desire it." It was a wild thought to Merton and slammed up against his insecurities and his doubts. They were words to him, unreachable words. He took those words and started to live into them. They became woven into his story, and he lived them in such a vibrant and revelatory way that this concept has become a hallmark of Merton's life and work. A story living in our hearts and smoldering in our bones is not fully alive. But when we are brave enough to allow these stories, these challenges, these wild expressions of God to animate us, to teach us how to move and dance, then we become the Word made flesh in the world around us. We may have reached the end of our time together today, but this is the beginning. It's a place to start to live into what has been affirmed today, to live into the stories that have shaped us and will continue to shape us more and more into what God created us to be. And by doing so, we truly become a community of saints to the world.